No, we're not taking down any episodes. If people don't like it, they can.
That's right. Loud and proud.
This is how we do things around
all
here.
right.
Okay.
I
Anyways,
gotcha.
back to mustache talk. Welcome
to the
everybody to Facial Hair Daily. We are a new podcast here. All three of us finally got haircuts, so we're finally looking good. Varanax, I didn't even know he had sides to his head. Like all I saw was just big poofy hair all the time.
Just like
So
I had a white fro going.
You
Like,
did.
It was just full on white fro.
very, very much so. So, anyways, we were talking about. I literally unplugged my clippers. Okay, to catch everybody up, we were talking about how mustaches suck, and how they curl under and they get in your mouth and they're terrible.
Not necessarily mustaches in general, but when they start
When they get too
getting
long.
longer. Yeah.
You gotta keep it trimmed. So all of you guys out there, I'm not looking at you, Carl, who can't grow mustaches. You are somewhat blessed, but at the same time, you can't grow beards, and I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say I can't grow this out.
Yeah, I got the gap.
This
I don't
is
like
all
the
that
gap.
grows, like literally.
Yeah.
Look,
This and this.
you got time still, man. It'll get there, and when it does, you'll be like, man, this sucks.
He's
At 31.
he's literally like oh my god, what was the guy, the Zorro, like one of the bad guys where all you hit the mustache and the little right here and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you got. So
You're saying my
anyway,
Asian roots are like that.
We are not saying anything of the
It's a
sort.
joke. It was a joke. That was a joke.
Just making sure that's out there.
oh my god.
But no, as I was saying, like after a while,
Yeah, haha, funny. But apparently that was not.
it gets so long that it gets in the way of you doing like normal things, like taking a drink, eating food, just
Too much.
sitting there. Like all of a sudden you'll feel it like in the corner of your mouth, just kind of tickling you. But there is a saving grace to all of this, because after a while you can do this.
See?
I kind of shave.
And you get the ability to just sit there and twirl your mustache maniacally.
Dude, I had my beard down to like a good length before I cut it all off this last time. I literally would just sit there and like twist it like this, and I had like two little like pieces that like not braid, they were like twisted together. But man, that was fun.
So you're going for the Viking look, huh?
Yeah, why not? I mean, my wife doesn't enjoy it, so I will. This is too long for her. I got to trim this up again.
Look, you have to amuse yourself some way. All right.
I was I was in lockdown since last March. I don't know what you guys want from me. Like,
Exactly.
I have to entertain myself.
What you do is you just grout the chops.
Yeah.
And cut just this bottom part.
Let me see if I can find it. There's a picture of me
Do it.
with just a mustache,
Just the mustache.
and I was trying to look like I think I was on vacation for like a week and a half, and I came back and my boss told me that if I didn't come back looking like Ron Swanson, then I was going to get fired. I had to see. That's probably a really way back there picture. So I'll look while we're talking.
Okay.
Hopefully,
I
I'm
was
not
gonna say, you know what? What was I gonna say? That's a good question.
I don't know.
Wow. Yeah.
Just
So-
literally,
So real quick, if anybody,
no idea.
if anybody hears my wife yelling in the background, she got her first Nintendo Switch
Nice.
for her birthday, and she has been playing Animal Crossing. And at one point, right before we started doing this, she's like, ooh, 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 yeah! And I was like, okay, you can't do that while we're on there. And she's like, I'm gonna do what I want.
Oh.
Well, I mean, you know, it's kind of like Ivor in the background too.
Yes.
You have him screaming.
Okay, this is not the picture I wanted to show you guys, but look at this. Oh, come on.
Oh,
Nice.
there we go.
Yep.
Yep.
So that was me That was my first quarantine haircut at Quarantine Cuts. My wife cut it.
Mhm.
She cut it into a mullet, and then I shaved down, so it was, yeah, I had a mullet. That was October, I think.
I
Nice.
think I remember you mentioning that back in
Yeah.
October.
Yeah, it was good times.
Yeah, that was before I even joined Mortalis, so that was a while ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it feels like it was a while ago, anyways. It really wasn't that long ago.
Right. I know. It feels like it was forever ago, but I'm not gonna find this picture of me in a mustache.
Man,
It's
been a
probably
long
it's
year.
probably it's
been a
probably
long year.
it's probably on Facebook or something, but I don't do Facebook, so
Really has.
um
So we have an agenda for tonight.
yes.
Well, I was actually gonna say Trad hates Stargate. So I'm just letting everyone know that Trad absolutely hates Stargate. It's like there's something wrong with the guy. Like he started
I'll
watching
just
it,
wait.
and it was
I'll
just
just wait
curse
for you to
curse
finish.
words at the screen about how stupid it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. J'accuse.
Should we start unpacking that? I mean, he called you out about Doctor Who, and I gotta say, I have not forgiven you for that since I saw that episode.
Yeah.
Um,
So I'll just throw it out there. I have tried a couple different times to start Stargate. And it's not that I hate Stargate. It's just like I don't ever know if I'm starting in the right spot. So I watch it for a while, and then something else catches my eye, and then I don't come back to it for months at a time.
So I believe the right spot is the original movie with Kurt Russell, like the '90s version.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see,
That's a good one.
I hadn't even started there. I
Yeah,
started on the show and had no idea what was going on. So I feel like I need to go
You
to
never
the
actually
movie.
watched Stargate, the movie?
Hmm?
You never watched Stargate, the movie?
Mm-mm. That's why I'm saying I feel like I was missing out on something because I didn't know what was going on.
So start there. That'll give you a good basis. Then skip a lot, and then watch some of the series because there's some that are neither here nor there.
So what you're saying is Boyan hates Stargate?
No. Boyan does not hate Stargate. Boyan is educated enough to make an assumption.
I've enjoyed like pretty much the entire series. There are episodes though that are just absolutely not good at all. There are some episodes that are absolutely stunning. Honestly, some of them are really really sad in certain cases. There was like this one. I want to say it, but it's just such a good episode that I think it should be watched. So if you do get into it, there's some really good content there.
Gotcha.
I don't really think this is a spoiler so much for an episode I'm about to mention, but there's an episode where they're stuck in a time loop.
Oh, so Groundhog's Day.
As one does,
It is absolutely amazing. It is hilarious. The time loop allows them to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So they continue like with these, like they try and figure things out. At first, they go through this whole montage of them attempting in each time loop to get the process of explaining the time loop to the people that are trying to help them out of the way, and then trying to solve the problem. And then during this one of the sessions, they were like, so have you guys ever tried to do pretty much anything you want? I mean, you have the chance, you have the opportunity.
Right.
And they were just like, so it goes on this whole thing where they start like one of them is like one of the scenes is them golfing into the Stargate.
Oh, nice.
So they just set up a little golf session with the Stargate open, just swinging, and it's like, yeah, that's a record.
That's funny because I can imagine on the other side of the Stargate for that one time loop, there's just golf balls coming through it.
Yep.
and they're just
That's
like,
basically what would be.
they're like,
Yeah.
what is going on here? They have no idea what's going on. There's just golf balls coming through the Stargate.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Uh,
But on the subject of Stargate, though, if you really want to get into the show, there is also Stargate Universe. You don't have to know much about Stargate at all. The first episode is what really kind of is what goes into the lore of Stargate a bit, but
Yeah.
it is definitely made for people that have not seen the
who aren't
first
diehards.
series. And yeah,
who aren't die. Okay, maybe I'll start there and see what I can find out. I could always just
And
start
it's
with the
newer,
movie and kind of
so.
go and make sure. Listen, I don't know enough. Maybe I do hate Stargate, but I just don't know this. You know, maybe I'll figure it out. Oh, that's why I don't wear my glasses. I keep forgetting that. I guess it at an angle.
That's also the same with me and Doctor Who. I need to sit there and watch Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I've ended up doing the same thing you did, where I tried to figure out, okay, where do I start?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started, I'm like, am I really watching in the right place? I'm so confused.
Right.
So-
Right. And that's exactly it.
So with Doctor Who, I can tell you for a fact that
Anything before Eccleston isn't worth it.
well, here's the thing. So I started Eccleston.
Yeah.
And got through Tennant, and I was like really excited because it got so good.
It got so good.
So good.
It's so good.
And then in between Tennant and Smith, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna find the originals, and I'm going to like binge watch the hell out of that show.
It's not the same.
So, interesting fact about Doctor Who. If you try and find all the episodes now, you will never be able to find them because BBC burnt down and lost some of the episodes.
That's true.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So you will never ever be able to see the complete series.
Not unless somebody actually has them on recording from back, like their own
recording.
personal, yeah.
I wonder if the Wayback Machine has something like that, because that's an Internet Archive. They store
This is
everything.
prior internet.
This is prior to that. This is like back in the 70s.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but the original episodes were only 15 minutes long. Now, I can tell you that I could not sit through more than 3 episodes without going, I need to take a break.
Right.
Like, this is so dry.
Yeah.
It was so dry.
It takes British humor to the extreme.
Oh.
I wouldn't even call it that, man. There was absolutely no humor. The Doctor was an absolute asshole.
Well, that and like for like
Just-
they back then, like TV had to have a purpose. Like it couldn't just be
Very
TV
true,
for
yes.
TV's sake. It couldn't be entertainment. It was like TV had to have like a moral of the story, and a lot of that is kind of what that is involved. Where nowadays you look at that and you're like, well, that would never fly on TV today.
No, absolutely not.
And not for bad reasons, just because nobody's going to sit down and watch an educational show about space aliens
Oh yeah.
with 2
No,
hearts.
no. One of the episodes, like the Doctor usually travels with companions, right? So there was a couple of people that kind of got entangled with the Doctor and his companion at the time, and they ended up on an alien planet by random chance, as they usually do, right? So the 2 people decided to wander off and explore, and Doctor literally goes, well, they're on their own, bye, and tries to leave them on that planet.
Yeah, newer doctors definitely didn't just
Newer
randomly
doctors
leave
definitely
their friends behind.
Yeah, that is. I mean, I think I have seen some of the original. I've also seen some. I guess like maybe I started on some of the newer ones. I need to really go back because it was. Oh geez, I don't even know. Maybe 2012 when I last sat down and tried to watch the series. So it's definitely something that I need to actually get caught up on.
When did Eccleston start? Like 2009, something like that?
Yeah, 8 or 9, something like that. Yeah.
8 or 9? Yeah. So Basically, he's the Ninth Doctor. Start there. Keep in mind that their budget at the time was not the greatest.
No,
Oh, I don't mind.
but
Yeah.
honestly, it.
I mean, they did great.
I think they
for
did
what
great for what
had.
they had,
Yeah.
and they have like long-standing, running, very complex
Oh yeah.
plot
yeah,
lines. Like the first episode of Eccleston, back when it basically returns, basically when Doctor Who starts over,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
there's they introduced a concept that isn't solved for two doctors.
Yep.
Like it all just loot like, and it's all crazy in depth.
It's all connected. I mean, it's really surprising how they do it, and they do it so well.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'm personally very sad about is right before this last Doctor took part, um, one of their writers, Stephen Moffat, left the show. Which
That's
he was-
always
He
rough.
was a really big influence on
He
how
was.
they wrote the stories and the characters. So there was a definite change. Now, I cannot personally say whether the newest Doctor is good or bad because I have not actually watched or haven't had the chance to watch. And
She-
it's actually because of you guys and your podcast when I was watching that you guys told me that the all of Doctor Who was on HBO Max.
Yeah.
I'm like, no way. So I started looking into it, and I'm like, oh yes, all of the seasons are there, as opposed to like Prime Video, which only has like the first 2 seasons
Right.
available. So
That's really cool.
I've been binging the hell out of all of Doctor Who, like back to back.
I think
And
I think the new Doctor is I think her season kind of got all cut up wonky because of it was at the end of 2019. Things were happening in the world, and then 2020 kind of hit, and then like everything. So I think her like I don't think she's had. I think she's had a full season, but I don't think she's had a true full like go at it. Like she needs, the first season of a new Doctor, everybody always like, oh, here we go. Now we got to
Yeah.
deal with this new person, and hers is no different. The first couple
very
episodes are completely like, oof.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oof. And I don't care that it's a woman that's playing the Doctor now. I think
Oh,
that's an
absolutely not,
amazing. I think that's an
Yeah.
amazing shift from one Doctor to the next. But I do think that there needs to be. I think she needs another season before you can really start to judge what's going on with her. I like her.
Yeah.
I think she's a good actress. I think that she'll be a good Doctor. It's just gonna take time to get in that Doctor rhythm. Like
Yeah,
even
absolutely.
Tennant had a couple like half season where like, oh God, do you remember when he lost his hand?
yeah. That's Christmas episode. That's
Yeah.
the very first episode he was in it.
I know, and you're like, what are we doing here, guys? And he's like, I still have enough regenerative power to fix it. And you're like, okay.
But here's
And then
the thing, like that whole like him getting his hand cut off plays well into Smith,
Right.
like into the next Doctor. That whole I don't know if they just remember like, oh yeah, we still have this going on, but
I
they
really don't think.
incorporated-
I really don't think they had a whole like, oh, this is. Oh yeah, we forgot about this loophole. Let's fill it.
right.
I
yeah.
think they've planned out like 3
They
or 4
planned it out,
seasons in
yeah.
advance.
Yeah.
And BBC basically gave them like carte blanche to figure out what they needed to do. So,
Right.
but
So, yeah, it's definitely another good show for Verinax here to actually get into.
Oh, yeah.
Start
Mhm.
if you have HBO Max, go on there. Start with the very first season, which is going to be Eccleston that they have on there, and just
Okay.
power through it because it's there's a saying for drinking sake. It gets better with every cup. It's the same with
Oh,
the
yeah.
Doctor. It gets better with every episode.
I loved
Soccer.
Eccleston, and then like I said, and then it was followed up by David Tennant, who I think is an amazing actor. So,
Yeah.
funny enough, I was
I'll definitely try it.
flipping through Reddit, and there's a video that got posted want to say 2015 maybe. There was like a special. Tennant was at an awards program, and there was like a special recognition award that went out, and nobody knew who, like, what it was about or whatever, and they literally just started singing about, or they started not singing, they started like interviewing people about David Tennant. He had zero clue that this was coming. Nobody knew. Like, they literally panned around the room, like trying to figure out who this was. The special recognition was going to be about, and it was about him. And like, there was a camera like right in his face, and like he's like bawling his eyes out, and like it was just so amazing to see. I think, like I said, I love him in everything. I even loved him in female superhero.
Jessica Jones.
Thank you.
Yes.
Where he was super creepy, dude.
Dude.
He was so creepy.
The most amazing,
I don't watch that show.
The most amazing bad guy rendition ever. He played Mr. Purple. I believe that's his name.
I think so.
show?
Yeah.
I think so. Basically, he has mind control simply by telling people what to do.
Yeah. He can make them do what he wants just by telling them.
Oh, so creepy, so evil, and so
and like he had like
perfect.
Jessica Jones, like this was before the show started, but basically like he had like was torturing her for like years and years by doing this.
Yeah.
I heard that Disney now has the rights to that, by the way.
Yeah, they just got it back, or they get it back March 1st, I think.
They have all of the Netflix shows that the Marvel Netflix shows that they had. So Luke Cage, what was
Iron
it?
Fist.
Iron Fist,
Daredevil, Jessica
and
Jones.
Jessica Jones. They have
Wasn't
the
there
rights to all of them.
One
And then
more?
they did a crossover with all four of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I remember hearing about that one.
And
Yeah,
then
I
they
remember it was
they
being really good.
I mean
like,
they
that
had
was really
agents
good.
they had Agents of Shield too, which I would like them to go back and like release those because I missed like the last 2 seasons of Agent of Shield.
Agents of Shield. That's on Netflix.
Is it though?
Yes.
The last
Mhm.
season's on Netflix.
Last few seasons are on Netflix.
I'll have to double
watched it.
check. I know
They-
it was for a while, and then I couldn't find it anymore.
So I was actually worried about how they were gonna end the seasons of that because it's Coulson. It's everybody.
Oh, God, it's Coulson.
They kind of got weird.
Oh, dude, it gets weird.
But
I knew there was time travel involved.
No, it's not even just.
Oh
time
no,
travel.
sorry,
It
alternate
gets
realities.
alternate realities.
Yeah,
and
where one
everything
is
else.
oh my God, what is his name? What's the doctor? It's
Simmons.
Simmons and
Oh God, Fitz and Simmons.
Fitzsimmons, yeah. Where
Fitz and
Fitz is freaking Nazi.
Dude, Fit again. Another character you never thought.
No,
you
dude,
could
he's
see in a
super
bad way.
he's super creepy too.
Fucking amazing.
So that was fun. I used to watch that pretty religiously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm hoping.
Edgar and I were actually talking about all those shows and how they're going to tie them in because they're a lot more violent than the traditional
Yeah.
series. So
Well,
it's like we're wondering like how Disney is going to actually incorporate that.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a very, I guess, tenuous situation because it's like they have to be careful with that. Like since those shows were known as more mature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was Marvel's Hell's Kitchen series. Like those were
Yeah.
offshoot superheroes that they very specifically stayed in their small portion of the world and just stayed like that's where they stayed at for their superhero because they cared about trying to save their location, not necessarily everywhere.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they were. I would love to see Daredevil come back.
Yes.
With the same actor because I think he was so good.
Yep. I think how
He was very convincing.
I think how they did Daredevil was really good.
Yeah.
Like you have your Ben Affleck version, which is a little in my opinion, a little cartoony.
Very, yeah, very cartoony.
Same with Electra, little on
Yes.
the cartoony side,
Yeah.
but they kind of made it a little more realistic with the Hell's Kitchen
Mm,
series.
yeah.
And I absolutely loved how they portrayed all the characters. It worked very well.
Right. I very much enjoyed um I very much enjoyed the Netflix Daredevil. I thought that was
Hmm.
done very well.
Hmm.
Um
Yeah, I heard like all those shows are really, really well done. And
I would say I would probably fight you on Iron Fist. I think
okay,
Iron Fist was probably the outlier of the group. Um,
They
I mean,
they
like
did
this is from hearsay,
no, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
no,
they did okay.
yeah, but
Could have been better, but they
it
did
could it
okay
could have been
with
better. Yeah, out of all of
what
them,
they had.
out of all of them, I think Iron Fist is the one that I stopped watching before the series ended. Like I just couldn't even though there were crossover episodes, I was like, I just can't do this.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's too much. It's like I watched all the DC ones, like Arrow and
Hmm.
Flash,
Arrow, Flash, and
mm,
Supergirl. I,
Super
I, I did.
Supergirl, and then there was the what was it?
I,
It was a Batwoman or
Bat,
Batgirl.
Batgirl came in later. Like
Yeah,
it
she was
started out
still
with.
hooked into it somehow. And then there was the group of them on the spaceship, time traveling to fix things.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I cannot remember that group's
Legends.
name. Legends, yeah,
Yeah.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh god,
I'm
that was.
like out of the loop of the whole thing. But from what I know, like isn't DC pretty much just going downhill?
So DC movies are, I would say, please don't grill me in the comments below. Uh, the DC movies are awful, but
We're, you do
Arrow.
realize you're gonna have a lot of hate mail.
That's fine. Listen, so far this episode is called Trad Hates Stargate and DC Movies, um, which is fine. I will own all of my flaws here.
No.
But the DC TV shows, Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, I think Supergirl was more of like made for like family stuff, but they incorporated her pretty well into the stuff.
Yeah.
Especially since like now Earth 1 and Earth 2 are now just Earth.
Yep.
So that in itself is pretty crazy.
So one, I have to say, one of their crossovers, they had the Legends of Tomorrow with Supergirl and Flash and Green Lantern kind of do a
Green
whole
Arrow.
big or Green Arrow and a whole big show, right?
Mm.
And one of the actors that played Adam
Mm-hmm.
was the actor that played Superman in Superman Returns.
Yep.
So
Oh wow.
so one
Uh-huh.
of the jokes, it was like he looks at Supergirl and goes, "Hey, you look like my cousin."
They had, yeah, that was
Like
one of the
they
cross.
had to throw that in there.
That was one of the episodes where they wound up going to multiple different universes, and
Yeah.
you saw the original Smallville Superman.
Mm-hmm.
You saw the original Superman Returns Superman, and then the one that is playing him for the show, not for the movies, because those are two different Supermen too.
Yeah.
That's
So
pretty
that
crazy.
was pretty cool. That was actually, I think, their last big crossover when they were trying to the anomaly was coming to destroy everything. But
Yeah.
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 Flashpoint.
No, that wasn't
that
Flashpoint. Flashpoint was a few years ago. This was like the last. I don't remember what they called it anymore.
I'm not that.
Like the Death
caught up.
Book or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was, yeah, very very entertaining, and I enjoyed the shows. Like,
So, yeah, absolutely right. I think the shows were tremendous.
mm-hmm,
Like they did the Arrow right, they did Flash right.
mm-hmm,
Legends a little campy, but again, good.
right,
You know, it's entertainment. You have to realize, like, you can't just look at this and go, oh my God, and you start picking it apart.
Right.
It's take it for what it is. It's entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
nothing more. Um, so was I sitting there and was I giggling and was I going, I remember that? Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Right.
Like, so that's what everybody should take out of it. Like, if you enjoy it, great. If you
Right.
don't enjoy it, there's always something else.
Stop being
But-
such a
Oh, yeah,
stickler.
I mean, it's always to each their own,
Exactly.
as I always view it when it comes to that stuff.
I went to a movie. I went and saw Avengers Endgame with a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And when the movie got done, he goes, "I can't believe they did that." And I was like, "What are you talking about? That great freaking movie I just watched?" And he goes, "No, there were so many things wrong with that." And I was like, "I don't care. Like, I'm enjoying myself."
I actually did that with Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Okay.
no, I'm sorry. Batman versus Superman. I did that with Batman versus Superman.
Okay, but
And
I'm
not for the whole fact of, oh no, I read the comics. I know this shouldn't have. No, for the simple logistical reasons. I took that movie and applied it to itself. One of the critiques I had, I'm like, so you're telling me if that kryptonite spear is 10 feet away from Superman, he loses pretty much all of his powers, right?
right.
But yet, picks it up at the end of the movie and flies with no freaking issue.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
there are things like where you know you have solid, just like you said, entertainment is entertainment, but there are those points right there that's what gets me.
You need the continuity.
It needs to be entertainment,
Right.
Yeah.
for it to classify as that.
Yeah.
And when it just throws these plot holes or things that just make absolutely zero sense, that are supposed to be serious, that you're supposed to take seriously, that's when I do end up getting a little, on the iffy side. But I'm not going to pick apart a movie like you did fine. Like, that is definitely a good, very good catch, and a very important thing.
Like, if you're gonna set a set of rules for yourself in your movie, like, follow those rules. Don't just kind of like toss them right out the window just to prove a point.
Right.
There was only one thing that got me in Endgame. I loved Endgame, by the way. Endgame was a fantastic movie. There was only one thing. Was when you saw Captain America, and spoilers, I guess.
Oh, Jesus
for anyone
It's been
supposedly
12
who
years,
hasn't
everybody.
seen it.
We all survived 2020. If
what
you
was
didn't watch
5 years
Endgame
back?
at this point, you
like,
ran out of time.
exactly. At the end of the movie, there was you see Captain America, and he's old, right?
Mm-hmm.
But previously in the movie, they stated that it's a completely parallel universe, that cannot happen. So he time traveled to be with his partner, yet he appeared on the bench at that point in time shortly after he time traveled. So it was no longer a parallel universe. It was suddenly the same universe that he traveled in somehow.
You mean timeline? Like he didn't break the
same
timeline. Yeah. Huh. That's actually a good point.
So
I wonder if
that is what got me.
I feel like Marvel may have had they do these throwaway lines in a movie, and it doesn't mean anything until 14 movies later, and then they're like, but look, this one word here says that it works. We did it. You didn't see it coming. They have a reference book of things. They're like, okay, so how can we get Captain America on the bench? Hold on. Back in Iron Man 3, we said Tony Stark is Iron. Okay, hold on. How do we make? No, we figured it out. The lawyers are sitting there like, yes, lawyer things.
I actually have a perfect explanation, and I'm going to tie this back into what we were talking about previously.
Tahiti.
No.
Oh.
Watch Doctor Who and remember these 4 words. Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey.
Right. There you go.
It will. Once you see that,
you'll understand
everything.
Mm-hmm.
You mean basically that time is unstable? Is that what I'm
Basically,
hearing?
the time is it's wibbly wobbly, timey wimey
It's a big ball of stuff.
stuff.
It's
It's
spaghetti.
it's not linear. It's a big ball of stuff.
Has anybody watched The Good Place?
I
No.
don't think so. No.
You guys should watch The Good Place. It's very, very funny. Anyways, there's an explanation. Basically, they say that time is like somebody's signature, and I cannot remember the guy's name to save my life. And there's an I, and when they dot the I, they said basically like time follows his signature exactly. And somebody said, "Well, what about the dot on the I?" And they're like, "Oh, well, every so many passes through, we wind up in the dot and the I. We just hang out there for a while, and then we start back over." And it's like, oh, okay. But to be fair, Marvel also wrote in their catch-all for anything that they can't quite explain. How did Coulson come back to life with alien technology? Tahiti. How does this happen? Tahiti. Like it's just it's their secret laboratory where whatever they want to make work, they make work by saying, "Oh,
Yep.
he was at Tahiti."
Yep.
Yeah. So
It's a
I mean,
magical
freaking
place.
Coulson got stabbed in the chest, and everybody went, "Oh!" Because it was very sad. I was very upset when Coulson got stabbed in the chest. And then like they start up Agents of Shield, and I was like, wait a minute, Coulson got stabbed in the chest. And they're like, how are you feeling after getting stabbed in the chest? I feel great. I went to Tahiti. And then you're like, hold on a second. Marvel just wrote themselves a loophole.
Yeah.
And they got
my
their
chair is being dumb. There we go. Sorry, don't mind me. Keep
Oh.
going.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
there we
yeah,
go.
that's my favorite. There is that they go. How do we figure this out? Tahiti.
Tahiti.
So, but yeah,
Explains everything.
literally does explains all their stuff.
Oh man. So there was one topic. If we're gonna go ahead and do you guys want to add anything to the show's topic? Anything else?
I don't even know what else. I don't even know where we're talking about anymore.
Oh.
Oh wait. Oh.
I mentioned this to you. Resident Alien. Did you watch it yet?
What?
I have
Son
not
of a-
seen it. I have not seen that.
Okay. So, Resident Alien. It's a new sci-fi show with Alan Tudyk.
No.
The guy that plays Wash from Firefly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Resident Alien.
freaking hilarious. Just the first two shows, I believe, are on YouTube.
Okay.
But you can't
Really?
stream.
Okay.
You can stream it from their website directly.
Okay. I'll check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure. I'll
Yeah.
totally check that out.
definitely watch it. It's very interesting. He tries to kill a kid unsuccessfully several times. One time by cutting the brakes on his bicycle.
Oh my
So yeah, that should tell you pretty much everything. you need to know.
It tells you everything you want to know.
Oh my god.
You can't, but it's not the same as cutting the brakes on a car.
God.
He takes he basically he's an alien that lands in a very very small city, and assumes an identity. He soon find out is a doctor, and that small town's doctor just suddenly dies, and now he's a doctor investigator, and he needs to perform all the regular things a doctor does in a small city. So
Oh my
he
God.
uses YouTube and WebMD a lot.
Dude, that's
He's sitting there
amazing.
with his phone looking up how to do a tracheotomy.
So it's basically
Wow, that
me
sounds
when
good.
I had to replace the brakes on my car. YouTube was propped up on the tire.
Yeah, exactly.
I had a flashlight in my mouth because it had gotten too late at this point. Watching, okay, now undo this screw. But I don't have
Oh,
that
God, that-
screw.
I don't have that one.
Right.
Sounds like what I had to do with a car that we had a while ago, where the back lights, the brake lights, went out, and it was apparently a common thing. So I looked it up on YouTube, and there was a video of the same exact car with this problem, and it's like all you have to do is pop the little plug out and pop it back in. Oh look, everything works.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I have fixed more things on my car than I ever thought I would because I just started watching YouTube.
Yep.
I haven't
You know-
paid I haven't paid for a brake change in years. I just do it myself now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
You know, funny enough, like that is actually how I learned how to 3D model and texture, which is
literally,
how I ended up getting my degree because I started teaching the professors there how to do that. So
You must have been popular.
it
The
was
professors
great. Like
loved him.
I was the manager for the virtual reality lab and everything at that point. It was awesome. I miss it, honestly. But yeah, it's literally YouTube is just such a great place to go for literally everything that you want to learn about specific subjects like 3D modeling, texturing, everything. That's how I landed a. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, it is definitely a great place to learn things, even if you don't want to know them.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I speak to everybody here where we've found ourselves at 2:00 in the morning going down the YouTube rabbit hole, and there's no out in sights. You're just, I never thought I wanted to know this, but click.
There it is. Yep.
Huh.
I had to shut off the autoplay because there was one night I literally was just sitting there, and then I like dozed off and must have like slept through like a couple videos because next it was like a Russian guy
Yeah.
butchering like half of a cow and like stringing half. I had no idea. I literally woke up to "Ojibota, Ojibota." I was like, "What is going?" He's very like loud and like yelling at me about and he's like I mean he had like English subtitles so I could read what he was doing. So, but it like I had no idea. This was back like when I had insomnia pretty frequently.
How to butcher a cow.
It was I had no idea what I was watching, but all of a sudden like there were like like huge sides of beef hanging on hooks and
One thing I would highly recommend for you two or anyone that is watching the video, open up a private tab or a private window in Firefox or Chrome and do not sign in. Just go to YouTube and see where it takes you. Because literally it does not have your data. It
Right.
does not have your search data. It does not have your information. You are an unknown user to them.
yeah.
So you could click on something and go down this giant rabbit hole that will lead you somewhere. And eventually your recommendations will just get populated with
according
all
to
these
that.
weird videos.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so much fun though. Like you end up just in the most ridiculous of places, just like, well, that happened.
That's how I found that the one engineer, he's a little bit more popular now, where basically he screws everything up so you don't have to. Like he's sitting there. I'm trying to think of what he's. He tried to make an electric guitar.
Oh, yep.
You know what I'm
I know
talking
you're
about.
talking
So
about.
basically, he took 2 live wires and wrapped them on a piece of wood, and he goes, look, I made an electric guitar, and he goes like this, and the wires touch, and he gets thrown backwards. Or he does it all the time. Like that's basically what his YouTube channel is.
Electro Boom.
Electro Boom.
That's it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
So
that's how I found him was just randomly clicking next.
It's
So,
like
It
I
is.
did watch like his compilation of the projects that went the most wrong.
like
he tried
one
to
time
make
he almost lost like part of his hand because it like came like so close to almost.
Like he decided to make
Yep.
a heated seat
Oh
by
my
hot
God.
gluing wires inside a foam pad, and then it caught fire, and then it stuck to his pants because of the hot glue, and then he caught himself on fire. And I was looking at this, I'm like, I saw that coming. Why didn't you?
He saw it coming too. Don't worry.
He definitely saw it
Oh
coming.
my God.
He just, I guess he usually doesn't expect the fallout so much to be that big.
I don't know how you don't.
Like it doesn't like he knows what's gonna happen. He knows what's gonna go wrong. It's just he doesn't seem to realize the gravity of it until it happens.
Or he does the where he like goes to like put two wires onto something, but then like that something like just happens to be conductive. So like as soon as he puts the wires on there, it goes like red hot. And he's like, "Oh, and like knocks the camera over." But yeah,
so I actually do wonder how much of that is for show and how much is scripted. Like,
how much
does he actually plan that out, or do you think that's his genuine reaction?
I think it is his genuine reaction. He's been doing it since ages ago. Like I don't even know when he started, but when he started, you know, he was pretty timid, but he still did that. Like he still did what he's doing now, which is electrocuting himself, and they are genuine reactions. There are certain things where it is a little odd, but at the same time, he does kind of teach people what not to do. Through that, it's like he shows he shows what can go wrong, and if you do it, this will happen to you.
Right.
So I actually do wonder, like, the behind the scenes, like before the show, like he's writing out the script to this and just kind of looking all fucking depressed. His wife approaches him and goes, "So, honey, what's going to be in the next show?" I'm going to set myself on fire.
Again.
It's all going to take place within 30 minutes. Have the extinguisher ready, dear. Okay! Like, his whole thought process is, fuck, damn it. And while he's on camera, the whole time he has to go, "Hey, this is going to be great. I'm going to teach you about science." And then, like, and his wife behind the camera is just going, "God damn it." Like,
he's got
I can't pay for the insurance anymore.
He's got to have stock in burn ointment.
Usually he does not seem to let his family in the room during that, because I noticed that all of his videos, all of his videos are completely just solo. Aside from one, I think, but he would make sure it was safe.
Maybe.
Like it was definitely safe for his daughter. Otherwise, he wouldn't have brought her into that.
Oh yeah.
I still remember the taser he made. That was one insane taser.
He actually went on to Linus Tech Tips to see if they can to see if they can short a RAM stick with like static electricity. Turns out it's very, very hard to do that. So he had this static electricity type of gun where if you put it close to your skin, it conducts static through your skin and into whatever material. So they literally spent an hour zapping each other trying to get this RAM stick to fry, and they couldn't do it.
Oh,
like it was so hilarious just watching them screaming at each other.
That's amazing. I can imagine.
Did it have like a static shielding or something?
What? The RAM stick?
The RAM stick?
No. It was just a bare stick of RAM.
Yeah, just a bare bone. Oh my god, that is pretty amazing.
And they went down the PCB leads and everything, like with their fingers, and you can see the arcs going into it. And they're like, we can't do it. It keeps going. Like
that is pretty insane.
That's like Carl.
That reminds me of when my grandmother used a little, one of those Swiffers on. She opened up her computer and used a Swiffer in there.
Oh.
Yeah, it was dead. Like it was dead. She asked me what was going on with their computer, and I was like, okay, well, let me go and look at it. It didn't turn on, obviously.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, so when was it last working? She was like, oh, before I dusted it. I was like, before you dusted it? How'd you dust it? He's like, oh, I use this. He holds up the Swiffer. Like,
Mhm. So yeah, the RAM sticks are good.
well,
That does not mean the rest of the PCB is gonna be okay.
yeah, it was very very dead.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, she wasn't too happy because I think at the time that computer was like, I don't know, like $600-$700,
Mm.
overpriced HP.
Oh yeah, back in the
Oh,
day.
the good old days.
Yep.
I remember the very first PC that we got for the house was over $1,000. It had 6 GB of hard drive space. It was running Windows 95, and it was the just the crappiest thing. Just the crappiest thing. But it was a computer, and we had
Mhm.
What did
Right.
we do with it? I played games.
Probably
Now I have to hear what games.
probably
Oh,
Diablo.
Math Blaster.
Math
Oh, hell
Blaster.
yeah, Math Blaster.
That's amazing.
That's the only game they let me play on it, alright?
That's hilarious. Math Blaster.
Of all games I had was like back. I mean, not really back then, but it was on a computer like that. It was SimCity 2000.
SimCity, yeah.
Yeah,
I
would
remember
play that for hours.
my biggest thing was like if I wanted to get into gaming, like hardcore gaming, I would play Oregon Trail at my school
Oh, yes.
fucking old IBM.
Dude, loved
With-
it. Loved it.
Yeah.
They had it on every computer across the nation. It was just Oregon Trail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it was like the 5.5-inch floppy disk.
Yep.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you got lucky if it actually played right, because those were not very reliable things. Like, oh my god,
People would play them over and over again, so they would die so fast too.
Well,
Right.
it was school computers, so yeah,
Yeah.
everybody used them. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, but yeah, that was my early gaming days.
Everyone dies from dysentery.
Everybody died from dysentery, and now there's actually a board game for Oregon Trail.
Yeah, I own it.
where literally everybody tries to die from dysentery. Like, it's you win the fucking game if you get dysentery in that
Right.
game, simply for nostalgia reasons.
So,
Because they also
Is it actually difficult to do in the game?
oh, I have
So-
no idea.
it's a random card draw, because it's a
Oh.
tile game and you draw cards with like supplies, and you
Mhm.
may draw rattlesnake bite, you may draw cholera or dysentery, and they also give you a little whiteboard where you write down like whoever dies. They have like little gravestones on the back, and you can literally write in who it was and what they died from, or whatever you want to write on the on the card. It's a lot of fun.
I need to try. I bet that is on Tabletop Simulator.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
I
Oh, yeah,
bet
yeah.
that is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm gonna look it up really fast because now I'm curious. God, I've been playing a lot of Tabletop Simulator recently. One of the games I was playing was Gloomhaven.
Gloomhaven is a good game.
Yeah,
I was watching you play that the
has
other
been
day.
a lot of fun. Oh yeah, that's right. You were in my stream.
Yeah,
I did not stream the last episode of that. Sadly, I really need to stream
Something that I got Carl into
Mm-hmm.
is this game in particular, Gloom.
Gloom.
that. Hey, Gloom, huh?
Yes, it is a great storytelling game where
Okay.
you try and make your family as miserable as possible before you kill them off. And
Okay.
the way you play is you have effects cards, so you have your family in front of you. Everybody has their family in front of them. Each one is different. And you make a story about each member of the family through these cards. But the cards don't tell you what to say. They just tell you the end result.
Mm-hmm.
So they tell you, like, mauled by weasels. You have to come up with the story of how they were mauled by weasels. and
Oh
you
my
cannot
God.
place your card down until you've told the story to everybody.
Oh, this is
I can see him being really good at that.
yeah.
Oh, he had a blast.
So
He had an absolute
this
blast.
is easy. I can get my whole entire family absolutely miserable with one brief story.
Oh, God.
Uh,
Oh no.
have two children under the age of 10 doing virtual learning and not being able to leave your house. Everybody's miserable. Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is
Well,
my
there you
go-to
go.
story.
Welcome to the pandemic. Oh my God. So, I don't know if we're moving on to topics, but I actually have an offshoot of that one. I feel absolutely horrible for the next generation of students.
Why is that?
This pandemic has changed student learning completely. So now we have the ability, the firm ability and infrastructure to actually do in-home learning,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
In virtual classrooms and everything. So what happens to snow days?
That's true.
You
So
can't make it to school? That's okay. You can still make it to class. Log on.
so to be fair, they still had snow days now.
They do now, but will they change that?
Well,
Like
I
I
don't know.
said, this is completely changing everything, how they're thinking about school and how they're going through things. Like even with businesses, they're no longer looking at renting office spaces simply because it's cheaper to just have your workers work from home and not have to pay the electric bill, not have to pay the
Right.
heating of the building or anything else.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that is one of the things that will change for future generations is like things like snow days. Like me and Trad here, and even you, Varanax. Like you wake up at 5 o'clock in the fucking morning, going, "I want to watch the news." Like, who in their right mind, that's a 7-year-old, wants to watch the news at 5 o'clock in the morning? Only if they're expecting a snow day.
Right. Right.
Like that's the only reason. Like you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, all excited to watch the news, so you can see if you have a snow day, just so you can go back to bed.
Yeah.
I never had a snow day in California.
That sucks.
It sucks.
Here in the Northeast, we have that quite often, even if we don't want it to.
I was gonna say we just my kids just had a snow day the other day. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't even. It was more of a projected what it was supposed to be,
Mm-hmm.
and never showed up. I mean, they were talking 8 to 12 inches. I think we got like 3 or 4 here.
Different areas got more.
Yeah.
I get about 8 to 10.
Oh, did you? Okay.
But I am closer. I am closer to the lake, so
That's
lake
true.
effect snow. Yeah.
Well, I mean, even my work delayed opening by 2 hours. So like that in itself was something that I hadn't. I was working from home. I still kept my appointments anyways and just worked my normal hours. So,
but yeah, I honestly
Let me actually check.
I feel bad for future generations for that simple reason. Like that is like a simple childhood memory that was like happiness that you had.
See?
And no.
Uh-oh. Nope, not working. Not working. My video card hates my phone.
Oh yeah. Oh,
wait, what if I get in there a little bit?
Look at all that nice weather.
Yep, that is my weather.
Yeah.
So
But
I mean, there are certain days that apparently have rain and snow, but it's just not going to last at all.
Oh yeah.
It will never last.
But yeah, I honestly think that with everything, like times are changing. That's a guarantee that there's no changing that. But it's how they're changing and what are they going to be trying to see what that's going to do for future generations. I think that's going to be interesting.
I showed a video to my wife about there's a little girl who turned 1 in 2020, and the whole entire video is of her walking to every square object and sticking her hand underneath it for Purell.
Oh my
It,
god.
it wasn't even like just Purell items. Like she would walk by like a stone statue or something that had like a square on it, and she'd stick her hand underneath it. And she did this everywhere she went. And like now we're definitely going to have a generation of germaphobes for good reason. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
There's that the whole germaphobe idea. There should be a healthy phobia or
Yes.
fear for these sort of things because yes, they are extremely dangerous, and
Right.
yes, you know that. Yes, we have medicine and cures for a lot of things, but there's a lot of things out there that no, we don't.
Right.
You know, you
Right.
catch it, you're screwed. So I think it should be more of an awareness as opposed to a phobia. And I wish more people had that now because things will be a little more easy.
Right.
But, you know,
We went over that on
yeah, that was last
podcast.
week's. That was last week's topic. Where
there's a Serbian proverb that goes, you know, if grandma had balls, grandma wouldn't be grandma.
okay.
So,
all right, Serbian proverb. I don't know where we go from that one.
but
There was a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, but yeah, I was gonna say, just you know, looking forward, that this was if nothing else, hopefully a valuable lesson. You know, things can get out of hand.
I don't think
really
it is,
fast.
unfortunately.
I
think it's.
I have to hold like
I think
after last podcast, after the feedback. Oh.
Yeah, I know. I'm walking on thin wire here, but
he's trying to get us kicked off YouTube. Is what's going on.
Oh God.
So.
No, what I was gonna do is I was actually gonna discuss what or your guys' feelings on phasmophobia of all things.
Listen, spooky games are not my forte. Okay, move my camera.
Not mine either. Phasmophobia is. It's very entertaining. I do have to say that. But I think, like, for those who don't like the spooky games, playing with other people is a good way to go.
Mm-hmm.
I had our buddy Raven. He's like, "Hey, come play with me," and I'm like, "All right, you know, let's see what all the rage is about." Literally, the first 3 missions we went to, he did not tell me that, you know, if it's coming for you, you shut up. No.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going, "Oh, it's coming! It's coming! Oh, it's coming!" Like louder and louder and louder. And guess what? I died first.
Oh my God.
That's hilarious. That is amazing.
There was a game that I played with Box, like just going through a house, and it was in the garage. It set off the freaking car alarm.
Yep.
While we were in there, by the way, we were just standing there trying to get a response. Then suddenly a car alarm goes off. So after that, we turned off the car. I don't think it was very happy about that because the moment I said, "Where are you?" on the little box, the spirit box, it popped up with "here." Suddenly, in front of me, there it was. So it said "here," bam. I was like, "I'm going this way." I'll be at the van for a bit, and you know, I'm an experienced phasmophobia player. I have like level 100 something, but there are things in that game that really catch me off guard all the time. You like I did not expect that. A ghost has never done that to me ever. That was the first time I've ever asked a ghost where it was, and it literally appeared in my face. Box was like, because I was like darting it out of the room. Box was like, "Did it just show itself?"
You're like,
and you're like,
"Yeah, it definitely showed itself.
And you're like-
Excuse me while I get rid of the rot on my face.
And you're like, yeah, and I just shat myself. So I think the scariest ones for me though are when it's like the small child with like half its head missing.
Yeah.
And it
God,
just
yeah.
terrifies the shit out of me because that was the I
It
think
has teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, it's just a hole, and it's just a bunch of teeth.
yeah.
So I believe that was the one that came after us when we were playing,
Mm-hmm.
and I was going piss, 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 piss. Because it was crawling like the kid from The Ring.
Yeah.
Like on
Yep.
all fours coming towards me. I'm like, nope, 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 nope. And again, I am the only one making noise while all of these other bastards are all quietly just sprinting out the house.
Right. Or
And
shutting my mic
the
off
only
so I
reason
don't talk.
why we were there is because somebody decided to, hey, we need to take a picture of this thing.
Uh-huh.
As soon as I died, they're like, yeah, we don't need to take a picture of this thing.
No,
And
I think at that
laughed.
point we had lost 2 people, so we're like, nope, no, we're good.
Oh right. I was in that game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
We
you were,
couldn't
yeah.
get it to show up. The only
Yeah,
time it showed
like,
up was
we
to kill
were-
people.
It's
We
okay.
were really
It
trying
showed up.
to. Yeah, it definitely showed up. It definitely showed up.
There was the one that
yeah,
it was
we
like
were-
it literally would not do anything
Mhm.
forever. Like it was like the
Yeah.
most stubborn ghost. And the only time it would do something is when it hunted, and it literally killed somebody right off the bat.
I mean,
Yeah,
the ghosts in the game, they all have random personalities.
Mhm.
They're all randomly generated using a personality scale, quote unquote. They have a variable that is like 1 to so and so, and it's all just random. There are ghosts in that game which will be so timid they will never chase you unless your sanity hits 0.
Huh.
So there are ghosts that will do that, and it's rare when that happens. It only has happened to me once, I think, where someone had to actually reach 0 to get it to hunt.
Where was it? You remember the time that we did the asylum, and every time we walked back into the building, it started hunting again?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was such an angry ghost.
That one was like nonstop.
It was so pissed.
It was
Like
so.
we didn't even do anything. We were just wandering around, going like, "Hey,
That was.
where you at?"
Was it? Who was with me? It was me and
what
one
it-
other person, and we went to go. We were just dropping the.
Was it
the
Kafka?
Huh?
Was it Kafka?
No,
No. Was
I don't remember who it was, but we just were going to drop that. Maybe it was Potato.
Well, Potato was in the van with me at the time.
No, then who the hell was it?
Was it me?
Was it?
Maybe
was
it was
the
you.
Revenant?
Wait, I think it was you.
I think
Do
it
you
was you.
remember like wandering around the asylum? But we were like going on every wing. We were going through every wing, and then
And it took
suddenly
us,
I
like-
said, "Oh yeah, I found it." I drop a parabolic microphone in front
Yeah,
of the door.
yeah, that was me.
Okay, yep.
Dude, and it took like 4 hours for us to find it, and then once
Yep.
we find it, every time we walk into the building, it started hunting us right away.
Yeah, yeah, that was
That was
fun.
terrifying.
We were trying to keep the door open too. Like we would walk up to the door. Obviously, you know, we wouldn't be able to keep it open because it would lock the door. But
Mhm.
every single time it would stop hunting, we would immediately open the door so you guys can just run out. But the moment you reach the lobby, it shut
It
the door.
shut the door again. Yeah.
It was
I remember
terrifying.
you guys darted into the room to the right, and we could just. I was trying to get it to come to the door so it would just focus on us.
Yeah.
And also, I had the camera, so I could take a picture through the thing. But it was like, all I had to do was get it to walk up to the door and stand there and just run into the door. Because that's what they do, by the way. If you actually start shouting at it through the door, it will try and get through the door.
Oh,
Really, I
To
did not know
reach
that.
you.
no.
Yeah, because it still listens to your voices. So if anyone's out in the van or outside of the door, it will try and actually walk to the door, which you can distract it from getting your friends that way.
Yeah.
So
God, that was like literally
That was
we're just
terrifying.
that's it.
That-
We're
that
done
was
with this
pretty
hunt.
amazing,
We're
yeah.
done. It's trying to kill us every time we breathe.
I do believe we tried to get Tato killed in that one
We tried to get.
because I shut him in
my
the
God.
room with.
That was right. We told him, we're like, okay, we need to. I said, Potato, you need to go back inside. We need to find out who it is
Yeah,
hunting on.
and
And he's like, I'm not
go-
going in there. We're like, Potato, just walk inside. As soon as he walks inside, door slams. He's hidden, hiding in a closet.
That was when I was singing the "Do you want to kill potato?" And at the very end of the song, like I'm like, "Okay,
Oh,
bye," and
gosh.
shut the door.
Right. What was the?
Oh, it's amazing.
What was the other thing we were? Man, I'm trying to think what else it was. God, we got Potato killed so many times. Like he just didn't understand. We kept trying to explain to him, like, hey, Potato, like, you can't talk at all. And we're telling an 18-year-old kid he can't talk at all, and he literally just starts going. It starts hunting, and I go, shh, and he's just like, why? Where is it? Is it coming after us? What do we do? And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm like,
Oh my god.
I'm hiding in a closet behind a rack of shoes or something, like hidden in the corner, flashlight off, camera out just in case it comes after me and I can take a picture real quick. And then there's Potato sitting across from me with his flashlight, moving it back and forth and yelling like, is it coming? Do you think it's here yet? Oh my God. And you could hear it coming through the door. And literally, I just look over and he's just like, do, 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 do. and then I took a
Oh,
picture
God.
as he's dying.
Oh man. I mean,
yeah.
you guys should see it in VR though.
Ugh.
No.
I do VR every time.
No.
Dude, I don't know how I feel about
see,
that.
Now you can see how I felt about when the ghost decided to appear in front of me when I said asked it where
God.
it was.
It just got the willies from it.
It just
Like,
right there. I was looking straight at it.
oh my God, that would be
Yeah,
terrifying.
I'll hard pass, I believe is a term.
Oh, just wait. It's gonna get even better with the next map update. They're releasing an apartment block.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
that's
An apartment block.
that's potentially dangerous.
Why-
So there's like all sorts of apartments to see and to hide in.
Get lost.
Get
Where's
lost.
the exit? I don't know.
Yep. It's gonna be amazing. I cannot wait for that update. That's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I love the game.
The game's
It's actually shocking, like, because even people who don't like horror games love phasmophobia.
yeah.
It's just there's something about it.
It's so I've actually found a similar trend with one other game, Rocket League.
Right.
It's a dumb premise. Cars, soccer, go. It's addicting. Like I literally downloaded the game when it was free on PS4. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna get it over and done with. Play a couple of matches and that'll be done. 6 hours later, I'm going, why am I playing this game still? There's no premise. I don't know why there's cars shooting balls into a fucking goal. What is the story behind all this? There isn't none. But I kept playing, and it's just one of those things where it connects. Like it works well, and yay. And every once in a while, they'll have these games that do exactly that, and I think Phasmophobia is one of those games where it's like, I'm scared shitless. I don't want to go back in there, but lo and behold, it's midnight. It's slightly drizzling outside, and guess what I'm doing? I'm asking where the ghost is.
So one, I just picked up Rocket League off the Xbox Game Pass. And two, I don't do spooky at all. And these mother effers have me playing Dead by Daylight, Phasmophobia, tried In Silence, but it was kind of... What's another game? What's another scary game that you guys...
I think I've only had you try Phasmophobia. I haven't had you try any other.
Yeah,
horror
I'm talking
games.
about the community as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I have a section on my Discord where it's just suggestions, and there's literally a list of dozens of games at
By the
this
way,
point.
people, check out the description below. You'll have a Discord link in there.
Oh yeah, we'll put the Discord link in there. Hopefully we don't get spammed again like we did the other night.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what happened with that?
We had a couple people jump in, say, post some very inappropriate content, and then get banned right away.
Mm-hmm.
So, right in the middle of, we were playing Among Us.
Among Us, yeah.
And I died, so I went to the bathroom, came back, and missed all of it. Box just so happened to be in the Among Us group and took care of everything for me.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad Box is vigilant on that, because he is definitely a good mod. I'll tell you that much. Hey Box, if you're listening, you're amazing.
We love you, Box.
He was also able to set up like a 5-minute cooldown when they first join. They have to wait 5 minutes before they're able to do anything, which I think will prevent a lot of that. But yeah,
I have some things I'm gonna set up too later on. A rules board, which we'll figure that out later. But anyways, on to the topic of
all of a sudden this become a corporate meeting.
Yeah,
I know.
Next on the agenda.
Stonks are up.
Stunks.
Man, we've been going through like all these, and there are so many more.
I know.
To go through.
Well, we can
Man,
always
we're gonna have to have you on for multiple sessions.
I was gonna say
what
we can make this a 2-part episode.
Actual deal with us for multiple sessions. You know.
I mean, here's the thing. I can give you my credit card information. Social security.
Perfect.
Sign an NDA.
Perfect. I'll just use your credit card. We'll just get all the subs on my Twitch. It'll be perfect.
No. It'll be great. Just remember, you use my credit card, you instantly incur my debt.
All right.
I'm gonna need to see some figures.
Let's see. By the way, you two, are we going to be playing some Phasmophobia during the 24-hour stream I'm doing next week?
Yes.
Wait. First and foremost, you're doing a 24-hour stream.
Yes.
Yep. Solid 24 hours.
Do you know what he's ending on next week?
No.
He is ending on our podcast.
Yep.
Oh, dear Lord.
The end of our stream.
Fun for you.
The end of his 24-hour stream is our podcast.
Oh.
He'll be drinking like coffee and soda like crazy. Have to go to the bathroom every 5 minutes. It's something like that.
I'm super excited to see Veranex just sleeping
it.
at the mic and me talking to somebody else for an hour and a half to 2 hours.
You just end the podcast with your face on the table and the keyboard typing out some random crap.
Oh god, yeah, the keyboard's just spamming a letter.
G.
Yeah, G. Of all things, it needs to be G.
It needs to be G.
G.
Yeah, definitely do Phasmophobia.
It will help keep you awake.
So you tell me, like, so what do you, so obviously we're talking about the 24-hour stream. So what is your goal for it?
Honestly, my goal is just to have a solid period of streaming instead of my, random hack job of, this day for this many hours, and it's just going to be completely random stuff. I want to essentially sit there, go through and stream for a very long time, hopefully gain a following, because I'm showing, putting myself out there and pushing so that I can show my audience that, hey, look, we're fun around here. And it also, promotes you guys as a whole, like the whole Trad Dad community here.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want it to become something big, and I'm willing to push to do that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So what are some of your thoughts about like advertising it because you're going to need to put it up somewhere so people know that you're doing it.
Mhm.
And then do you plan on having like a list of games that you want to play during that time, or what you want to stream during that time? Not necessarily
Do,
it has to
do
be games
you
all the
have
time.
an itinerary?
Yes.
I'm gonna be definitely making one. That's
Okay.
gonna be a big list. Honestly, the nice thing is that I do have the suggestions list as well from the server that I'm gonna pull up, and I'm gonna see about getting some people involved through that
Yeah.
also. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm not sure who's on super late at night, but I know Magnumer is one of them, one of my friends that I'll be streaming with during that. But anyone else, like super late at night, hey, you're all welcome to.
That I'm actually
Join.
one of those people.
Hey, yeah,
Unfortunately.
totally.
I don't look. I don't try to be. I used to be a night owl, somewhat of an insomniac back in my day. Unfortunately, I never broke the habit completely. So now there's nights where, and I've told this to Trad and our buddy Raven. Like I found myself on Amazon at 2 o'clock in the morning, just shopping for shit I really don't need. Um, but it's I'll be up until 4 o'clock in the morning and then wake up at 7 and go, oh shit, I gotta work. You know.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I'm unfortunately one of those night owls, and sure, yeah,
Okay. Cool.
I'll game with you. Why not?
Right.
Yeah, it sounds fun. Yeah, but I guess one thing that I struggle with is the advertisement portion. I am not exactly. I mean, I'm not able to really get my words out there the way I want them to come out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, once in a while, I end up in a situation where I'm like, well, okay, so I want to advertise this. I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then I end up typing it out and ends up like a mixture of random. Oh yeah, half of this point and then half of that point, and this is the point I'm going for that was supposed to tie into these. Oh no.
Right.
So it literally is just me when I'm trying to tell people, hey, look, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going to be playing. This is who I'm going to be playing it with. This is my goals and stuff like that. Expressing that in an advertisement is not something that I'm used to, and I usually end up getting stuck where I'll type it out, look at it, and go, no, this is bad. Type it out again. No, that's need to leave that part out, and I'll keep being critical of it until I just don't do it.
So
Like I don't actually advertise.
From what I've seen with streamers and with even like YouTube videos, main drawing point is vagueness.
Okay.
Because it kind of gets people to go like, hey, I wonder what's going to happen next. And you kind of want that sort of intrigue. So give a general sense of what you're doing, hint at a few things, but never actually give them the specifics.
Okay. That's a good idea, actually. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the big things about the whole, like, for example, there's this trend going on with the Grand Theft Auto Chaos mod and just randomizer. So, like, people are all about that just because of the random content. No one knows what's going to happen in the stream. It's just going to be GTA 5. Go wild.
Yeah.
And things will happen. Like, inverted gravity, or suddenly you're shooting across the screen into some random tank that will spawn on your heads. Just stuff like that. It's really, really interesting how content that's random and that's not expected is so big.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it really has a draw to it.
And that's exactly why, is because it is random and is because it's unexpected. You know, you can tell a person like, okay, this is going to happen exactly at this point, and so on and so forth. At that point, you're just making an instructional manual.
Yeah.
You're not creating, entertainment that you want to create. If you keep it random, keep people guessing, you will get, at least in my opinion, more views that way, simply because you draw people in with that mystery and intrigue.
Right. Okay. Cool.
And I would
thank you
definitely,
for your input.
I would definitely look into um, posting about it on like the Twitch startup Reddit. Um,
Mm,
Obviously in Team Tosca, find go through and see where there's places that you could post that have a larger community of people and say like, this is my plan, this is when it starts, this is when we'll end it. I'll see you
Yeah.
there. You know.
By the way, I really appreciate you helping me out on the whole advertisement thing because it completely slips my mind sometimes where it's just like I have the ADHD tendencies. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to advertise like that Gloomhaven. Like during the middle of it, I'm like, oh wait, I need to advertise.
I've legitimately I don't think I've ever tagged anything in Team Tosca. Like I post in there, but I don't ever think I've posted like, playing Among Us, hashtag Team Tosca, which will get more views that way, but I just completely forget about it. So,
Right.
that's
I always
something
have
that I gotta get better
hashtag Team Oscar in my title
at. Mm-hmm.
for OBS. So whenever I open OBS, I edit the stream title. It always has that hashtag in there. So all I have to do is delete the rest and then
Right.
retype. And then always, I'm always reminded of that. That's how I remember, anyways. 'Cause
Yeah,
That's,
well, that's the
I think.
that's the part is I keep forgetting to put that in there for the first time,
Oh.
and it's just not there. So,
You look like you're about to pass out.
dude, I'm starting getting wiped out here, guys.
I've been actually thinking now, like, at any point in time now.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna just sit back like this.
We're actually hitting the end point. Like we have like 2 minutes left in the podcast. So, again, man, we didn't even get through half of the points that I was going to go over. So, if you want to come on next time, please, we would love to have you again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what we're gonna do is next week Vernax is gonna be the tired one. So I'm gonna I'm actually gonna, as we're starting the podcast, I'm gonna snort caffeine pills. Just take them straight to the dome, boys.
Straight to the dome.
Funny enough, all you have to do is take 2 aspirin pills and you're fine. You're probably gonna be fine for like hours.
Yeah. So, but
all right. So 2 minutes. Closing thoughts. For this particular.
Hot dogs are a sandwich.
Agreed.
Tacos. Tacos are technically hot dogs as well. Thoughts?
Bear with me in this one. Tacos are hoagies.
I will give you this. Hard shell tacos, soft shell tacos are hot dogs. Chalupas are hoagies.
Okay. Perfect. Great.
This is how this.
How am I going to respond to this? Well, I'll just.
This is literally how we're ending this one. This is it. I want you to know that.
All right,
guys.
Care, everyone.
All right. And as always, I am Tread Dad.
I am Barely the Next.
And this is the Trad Dad Gaming Network podcast that has too many words, and we eventually have to figure out a real damn title for this damn show someday, eventually. Okay, goodbye. We love you. Peace.